Okay. We are going to do a bit of a visualization. Heart coherent first, and then we're just gonna, I'll walk you through relaxing your body, and we're just gonna go out into the cosmos and let everything just bring it down to zero as much as you can, so that you don't really feel your physical body. We want it to almost be in a neutralized state. Oh, here she comes. And in the middle of all that, we are going to be utilizing the energy of the cosmos to energize our chakra system. So we're going to bring energy in forms of the hues of color. Oh, is she going to get in? Yep, there we go. In forms of the hues of color to really get the energy of our chakras going, right? We want to light that up. What I have noticed doing this is the more in tune and in balance, the more synchronistic all of this is through my system. I'm going to use the word control. It might not be a right word, but the more control I have over myself, the more control, like in weird situations, I just don't get affected. I'm just like, I'm the observer. I'm the one watching. I'm the one, right? I don't usually have to participate a whole lot, which is kind of nice. So we're going to do that. Let it just all come off. Now, I know there are people in here, and actually a few that I was expecting didn't make it, but we're going to throw that in the loop too, that have really specific physical issues going on. From cancer to, I heard, head injury to like the issue with my lungs. It's actually resolving rather quickly lately from doing this kind of work. What was the one I heard the other day? We had a sinus infection going on. And so anything physical, and you don't even have to intend it. The changes happen because you're in the midst of your higher self, right? The alterations in the physical world will happen automatically just because you have spent time, right? Duration of time under tension kind of idea in the midst of your higher self. So it's kind of cool that you really don't have to necessarily, although you can add an intention to it if you'd like to, you don't necessarily have to. It's really the goal of just trying to be in the presence. I'm driving, listening, thank you. Don't do what we're doing. Actually, you can scale it back. You can do it on the level that you can do it, even driving. Just keep your eyes open. Definitely keep your eyes open. So we want to just spend time in the midst of that presence, right? And let your brain waves go crazy. All of the different spectrum of brain waves that we can go through, they can signal all at once. And on a scan, it would look like you're having a stroke or something. But literally, it's just resetting your body, right? And this, some of Joe Dispenza's work will show you exactly this. They've done scans where they've seen it, all of the brain waves. It's not one at a time or a procession of one into the other, the way that we're typically taught it. It's bam, they all at the same time. You're everything from beta to gamma to lambda to, right, the whole scope, delta, all at the same time. And when that happens, you literally get a reset of the system. And sometimes it's dramatic. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be subtle, and you will still see differences without having the cosmic orgasm that some talk about. So that's basically what we're going to do. I do want you to have the understanding that how a lot of this works is being able to disassociate from your identity self. And the reason why we keep jumping back and forth, people keep jumping back and forth, you know, I'm the self and I'm entwined in all this mess that's my physicalness and right, all this stuff. And then all of a sudden I get this period of time of just clarity. There's just so much more peaceful and just nice. And you're in that that space of spirit. And whatever you call it, right? It's just, you can tell there's like two different separate spaces. And there's really not. There's just one. But because of the way we look at it, and we label it and we give it identity, right? We set up this kind of structure where it feels like there's two different things. So the one way to talk about it is to say to disassociate from your physical nature, from your ego self, from your ego identity, right? I said a video, or maybe it was in one of these classes not too long ago. Sit down with yourself sometime and make a list of all your identities, and then take the labels off of them. And then just pay attention. Can you still be that if it's not labeled? If it's not, right, I am this. You can still go through the motions, but you will not do it the same way, right? You won't have the same reactions, the same actions, the same, like it all just changes. So I would suggest, highly suggest, that you play with that idea. When you are becoming, when you realize you are this other part of you, instead of being all this physical nature, when you realize you are that, call it a state of enlightenment. I don't know, there's so many different names for it. Call it whatever you want to call it. In that place, at some point, you will decide that you are done jumping back and forth. I'm not going to be the spirit side and then jump over here and be the physical nonsense. I call this my physical nonsense, right? The jumping back and forth stops. So when you first start this kind of project, it seems like we're more in the physical and we have more awareness here and we're focused, right, on this stuff, especially if you have an illness or something ongoing, even an ongoing situation in your life, something that's a continual effort to deal with. The focus is in this physical plane of existence. You start working on this spiritual nature and go on the journey, as they say. And at some point, you get to a place where this starts to release. The identities start to go. I am not that, right? I'm not that anymore. And I'm more in this spiritual place. And then you find yourself pinging back and forth. And this is where people are just like, seriously, how do you make this stop? It's just an effort and focus. And the more you focus on what you want instead of what you don't want, that's just how it works. I focus more in my heart space. I focus more on spirit. I focus more in the cosmos and just let my body go. Just let it go. Just let it go over and over and over. And all of a sudden, I find myself in this place where I'm more the cosmic side and more the spirit side, and literally just watching this physical thing going. Do we seriously have to continue this nonsense? Seriously. But this gets easier. Things are changing in my world financially. I can't even explain the financial difference that's occurred in my life. And it was nothing I necessarily did. I was just stand here being my higher self instead of my physical nature. My physical nature has obviously changed. People have stepped into my life that have information and ideas, like all kinds of stuff that have got this changing. So the more you do it, the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. I promise you just have to keep doing it. And I don't make promises lightly. So the other thing I would say to you, let's go back to the idea of the rainbow real fast. When Shamina popped in, she reminded me of this because of her brilliant rainbow. The idea of the rainbow is not just a metaphysical woo-woo kind of concept. And I think whatever we were told about the rainbow being a sign that the world would never be flooded again, I would be asking, flooded by what? Right? Water is what we tend to think because of the story that's told, but I think there's a whole nother meaning behind it. And I won't go into that right now, but the rainbow itself is pictured over and over and over in ancient artwork, from Buddhism, I mean, you name it, Christianity, ancient stuff, right? Where they all have rainbow bodies. They're all projecting a rainbow. There's usually a rainbow painted around the bodies of the people pictured in the pictures. Krishna, I'm trying to think of the rest of them. George Washington, for goodness sakes, in our own nation's capital in the United States, above in the dome. I forget what it's called, that room. And there's a dome, and he's up in the center of that dome with a rainbow painted around him. There is something to this rainbow. Inside your body, and some of you may know about this, you have what's called sheets of fascia. And the fascia, the rotunda, yes, that is what that's called, in the Washington, D.C. capital. In your body, the fascia actually has kind of a luminescent hue of color to it. If you ever see it, if you ever see a cadaver or, yeah, I don't know how else you would see it. Let's maybe see a picture of it. You can probably look it up online. It has a rainbow hue to it. When you're slaughtering, if you ever have the experience of going hunting and deer, cow, right, pick an animal, they all have this fascia inside of them. What we're told is it holds your body and your organs together. What we are starting to figure out, there's a small group of us that have been playing with this. Here she comes. They've been playing with this idea with the fascia. And what we are starting to find out with it is that it's not, I mean, it does hold the body together, but what it's actually doing is it is actually pinging information in and out of the field. When I was doing some really deep level work with a lady the other day, she was doing it with me. I was the client, I was the patient, right? And what she was doing was unwinding my fascia from around my organs because it was so tightly wound. It's like from the trauma of my death and my asthma for my whole lifetime, was unwinding it vicariously. She's in Florida, I'm in Utah. The whole thing was crazy. But what ended up happening was I was having these massive cramps in my body, and then all of a sudden everything released. And it was totally different for about 24 hours until I moved a certain way and that information pattern started again. So it's pinging. What it felt like was it's sending information from either inside of your body with that field of energy, the fascia is a field of energy, to the outside energetic field, which is our aura or your electromagnetic field. Call it whatever you want to call it. And it seems like it pings information back and forth, kind of the idea of the hologram. I've got part of the information inside of me and it pings it outside, picks up more information. And it literally threw my lungs back off, threw my diaphragm back off, threw my back whack. It's like, seriously. But I saw it that time. I saw it and I was like, oh, I know kind of what this is. Let's see if we can play with it. So that's part of what we're going to play with today. When we go into the cosmos, I want you to lay out, let your body literally come apart. You might see this, I want to call it a bioluminescent sheath that is inside of your body. I halfway think that it's part of what goes and comes with an entity when they go and come in between dimensions. I think it travels with us. I think the physical body dies. I don't think the fascia is necessarily totally physical. So we are going to play with it. Let's see. Strengthen it. Yes. Reading in the chat box, all of those things. Okay. I also want to tell you, if you don't have one of these, I highly recommend it for your eyes. Make it as dark as you can. You'll go further faster. Take away as many of the sensory, the outer sensory, sensories, what do you call them, as you can. And there's something about getting rid of the light, right? Once you can get into your brain deeper, you can go faster. So if you have a way of shielding your eyes, or if it's dark where you are, you won't have this problem. But do something to block all the sensory information out that you can. We are going to start now with deep breaths. As you inhale, I want you just to lay down. If you're in a place you can lay down, relax your body, close your eyes, nice big inhales, and then nice, long, slow exhales. We are just letting the body relax. Nice long inhales, nice long, deep exhales. As you're inhaling and exhaling, allow your shoulders to drop, allow your face to relax, down the torso of your body. Allow the muscles to relax. Just let go. Down your legs and all the way to your feet. At the bottom of your feet, I want you to put all of your awareness at the bottom of your feet. And as your awareness is there, keep your focus there until the sensation of the bottom of your feet disappears. Letting the physical body go. Let it totally relax. Coming up around your toes to the top of your foot. Letting all of those muscles totally relax. And when you can no longer feel your feet, I want you to come up into your ankles. Allowing all the tendons, all the bones, the muscle, the skin, let your ankles totally relax. You can no longer feel your ankles or your feet, and you're coming up into your calves. Maybe go up the back of your calf first, relaxing those muscles. If you have a line on your fascia, let the fascia relax. See if you can let it unwind. The bone in the lower leg relaxes. Around to the front of your leg, your shin, the muscles there, allowing those to relax. Letting those totally disappear as you come up into your knees and the capsule around your knee. Let all the tendons, all the bones, all the structure of your knee totally relax. So you can no longer feel your knees. And up into your thighs. All the way around your thighs, the muscles, the skin, the fascia, the veins running through your legs, everything relaxes, the bones. Let that relax until you can no longer feel your thighs. And all the way up into your hips. Where the bone of the leg comes up into your hip joint. Just allowing that to relax, all the tendons, cartilage, everything that holds that structure together. We're just allowing it to relax. all the way through to the muscle structure, the muscles through your back end, coming up into your lower abdominal area, allowing your pubic bone to relax up into your lower abdomen. All of the organs relax. All the fascia holding the organs in place relaxes. Let it unwind. All the tissue, all the cartilage. And through your lower back, from your tailbone coming up your spine, letting that bony structure relax. And all of the nerves that come through that area, just allowing everything that is part of the physical body to relax. And let it disappear. Let it go. And coming up from the lower abdominal area to up above, right underneath the rib cage, from the front to the back, including that spinal cord area, all of the organs, up under your rib cage, through your rib cage, your diaphragm, allowing everything to relax. And if you find a tight area, no matter where it is or where it was, just breathe into it. Use your breath to help it relax. Through your rib cage, coming up your chest, your lungs, your heart, all the glands, all the bones, all the cartilage. Coming up into your armpits, through your shoulders, everything relaxes. Down your arms, through your elbows, past your wrists, and into your hands. Just let it relax. From your shoulders and your upper back, your scapula, your spine, all of the nerves, up into your neck, your throat, and into the base of your skull. From the back to the front, all of the tissue, through your face, your mouth, your teeth, your sinus cavities, all your nerve endings, everything relaxes. Through your ears, your nose, your eyes, all of the veins, all of the glands in your brain. Everything physical relaxes. Everything physical relaxes. All the way to the crown of your head. And with this body relaxed, we're going to allow it to float up. Our spirit aiding, your guides might be aiding, your angels might be aiding. Allowing your physical body in this relaxed state to drift through space and time and out into the cosmos. You might still notice your breath. You might notice that it's shallow. Everything is soft, quiet. You might be noticing that you're able to watch your physical body from outside of your physical body. And you're just observing, noticing. Letting your body float, letting it unwind. And as we observe this physical body, I want you to notice the places that we have termed chakras, the energy wheels of the body that run through the physical and the emotional and the mental. And they help make up the magneto-electric system that this all operates by. And we're going to start at what we consider the root, at the pelvic floor. And I want you to notice out in the cosmos the rays of energy and allowing yourself as your spirit, as the trueness of who you are, to reach out into the cosmos and come back with the energy of the root chakra, all of the hues of the color red are in this ray of energy. All of the tones that go with the color red are in this ray of energy. All of the sacred geometry that go with each one of these hues and each one of these tones are in this ray of energy. And as you have taken on this physical body, and it's yours to take care of, we're going to tune up these chakras, starting with the root. As you bring that ray of red and everything it entails, all of its qualities, towards the root, towards the perineum, notice the chakra coming down out of the body and up into the body. And we are going to place that ray of red into the center of this chakra. And as you let go of it, as you release it, the spinning of the chakra coming down and out of the body in a clockwise motion and up into the body in the counterclockwise, you'll start to see that color red twist. All of the hues, all of the tones. If you can hear, listen to the tones, listen to the sound. Use your imagination. It is the truth of what is. from your heart space, from your spirit. Now we're reaching back out into the cosmos, and this time coming in with an orange ray, and every hue of orange is contained in this ray of light. Every tone has a hue, and there's sacred geometry that works with each one of those. And then coming up the physical body and placing that hue of orange in its space. And allow the body to move with it. And as you watch the colors twist into place inside this chakra, just notice, just be aware, just pay attention. Let the colors do their jobs. Let the energy do its job. Become more aware as you're watching the root and the sacral. And your body yet relaxes into an even deeper state. And now reaching out again, and this time we're going to grab a yellow ray of light that contains all of the colors of yellow to light up the solar plexus and bring energy back into this place. All of the colors each have a hue, and each hue has its own sacred geometry. And as you gracefully bring this ray of light towards your solar plexus and placing it in the center of that chakra, allowing the energy to move clockwise out the front of the body and counterclockwise out the back, just like the sacral energy. As you're watching this, as you're observing, you'll step back and notice as the reds bleed into oranges and bleed into yellows, they move out into the space around your physical body in strong waves of light and tone. Just notice, just pay attention. And from the solar plexus, we're going to move up towards the heart, towards the center. And this time you're reaching out for a green ray of light. All of the hues of green. Let your imagination go wild. These colors, some of them are seen, some of them are unseen. The tones that go with them, some are heard, some are unheard. And the sacred geometry falls in line to each tone, to each hue of color. From the state of your higher self, can you feel the power of this ray of light in your hands? Can you feel yourself moving it around in the cosmos? Can you recognize yourself as these rays of light, And from there, we're going to take this ray of green, bring it towards the heart chakra and insert it into its space. Bringing in fresh energy, fresh light, cleaning out the physical space, opening up the chakra. And as it spins clockwise out the front and counterclockwise out the back, I want you just to notice that energy moving. If you can drop your awareness into the dead center of that spin, put your focus right into the center of that spin where those two fields come together at the center, and just watch. There's something very magical that happens in this space. And suddenly all the movement that you're seeing on the outside edges, all of a sudden it gets very still. And everything seemingly stops. They say that the electrons disengage, but the energy explodes, it magnifies from the center point. And as they're brought back into action, moving out into these fields, just feel, notice, feel the power inside this physical body. And we're going to move up towards the throat. And all of the hues of green start moving into hues of blue. You see it, you sense it. And reaching out into the cosmos and taking this ray of light with all of the hues of blue and all of the tones and all of the sacred geometry and inserting it into the center of your throat chakra, spinning out the front, spinning out the back. Drop your focus into the center. And just notice. Feel the energy, the power moving from this space. And I want you to step back one more time and just look at this physical body and all of the rays of light, all of the hues of color. Can you hear the tones? Can you see the sacred geometry and the fractal patterns that it comes together and starts producing? And one more time, we're reaching out into the cosmos. And this time, the ray of light is a spectrum of color between the hues of blue and hues of purple or violet. It's indigo colors. And the space that we're reaching this through contains the pineal gland, the cave of Brahma, and everything that's contained there. And it doesn't go straight through the head the way we usually see it. But I want you to see if you can notice from the forehead, from between the eyes at the center, at an angle down to the back of your head at the notch where your skull ends. And I want you to run that sheath, that ray of light, through that space. So it's at an angle, and from the center of that place in your forehead down to the notch at the back of your spine, you will run that ray of light right through the cave of Brahma. And then the torsion fields twist, the field out the front turning clockwise and the field out the back turning counterclockwise. It's the opposing spin that creates the torsion field versus a toroidal field. And it's the point in the center where the power is created. And just watch your physical body. Allow it to relax in this space, to rejuvenate, to bring all of its energy back into itself. All of the energy of the cosmos. One more time, we're reaching back out into the cosmos for that ray of purple, all of the hues of purple, all of the tones and all of the sacred geometry for the crown chakra at the very top of your head. As one of the fields comes out of the top of your head, out of the top of your body, moving clockwise, and then one of the fields goes down into the body, moving counterclockwise, and inserting this ray of purple into that space. And then watching it starting to spin, starting to move out the top into the body itself. We're going to let that energy do its work, engage with the physical nature of the body. And I want you to, for a few minutes, turn your awareness towards yourself. No form, no shape, no substance. Just the energy of the cosmos. This is the greatest space of healing of everything. Call it physical, mental, emotional. Take the labels away. And it's all energy, in alignment or out of alignment. In this space, you bring it back into alignment. No form, no matter, just the reality of your true nature. No identity, no worries. As you fall deeper into this sense of your true self, knowing who you truly are, feeling the power of this presence. Feel the power of your true nature. We're going to bring the physical bodies back towards your place on this planet. You are the thing that animates your matter. Come back to your physical form and animate your physical form. As the trueness of who you are. You get to choose in this moment. Do I pick my identities back up or do I just leave them laying there? Who am I? What am I? What can you do? The longer you stay in this state, the more you become the trueness of who you are, the less the physical body will give you issues. Things will still happen around you, but you have a different level of control. You are the thing that animates the matter. You can utilize the energy of the cosmos. I want you to begin to animate your matter, pressing your feet into the floor. Press your hands together. Wiggle your toes, maybe wiggle your fingers. When you're ready, open your eyes. Bring yourself back. Bring yourself back as your spirit nature inside this physical body. Recognize who you are in this space. Take a deep breath. Maybe take a few. If you have something to drink, take a drink. When you're ready, open your eyes. Find yourself, make the body work for you. And bring it back how you want it to be. Every time I do this, my body is stronger. My body is less chunky. Does anybody want to share? Sometimes speaking about your experience helps solidify it. It helps you know that you know. Does anybody want to share?
I noticed when certain colors were coming up, or certain chakras that we were in, things were, I don't want to say coming up. It was just like it was like hidden things in there that I didn't know were hidden in there and manifesting, kind of coming to light. So it was really great to see that, like, the things that were kind of like hidden Easter eggs in there of non-truths and truths, and just recognizing the things that are me and aren't me, was super helpful. And the colors were amazing. So thank you for that.
You're so welcome. Are you drinking out of a cup that has Little Mermaid on it? Did I really see that?
Yeah, it's my kid's cup.
I was like, I saw the Little Mermaid. That's fun. Sue says, I saw that the colors are all dependent on each other. They are frequencies. It's funny to me because I used to talk a lot about the I think it's power versus force, and I forget the guy's name that wrote that, but he's got this chart in there of all of the emotions of consciousness. I forget, it's something like that he calls it, but it goes from like shame all the way up to bliss. And neutrality is somewhere in between, and peace is around there somewhere. But to me, peace is neutrality, and there's layers of peace, right? The peace that passes all understanding is like a depth of it that I just can't usually even explain. But all of these colors are frequencies, and they're the same frequencies he had in that chart, and they're all necessary. They are all required for each other. If you pull one of the frequencies out, you are in disharmony, right? So we go through, and we've been taught this for my whole lifetime, right? Is get rid of your anger. Get rid of your anger. Anger is just a frequency, and it's needed. If you take the word away from it, take the label off of it, take everything you were taught about it, it's a frequency that's needed in these layers of frequency. And what color goes with what we call anger? It has a color, it has a hue, right? It has a tone, it has sacred geometry. And if you totally get rid of that, which is what some of the protocols we're taught teach us to do, just get rid of it. You don't need it. No, you do need it. It's a frequency. Sadness, for years, people trying to take sadness out of my lungs. And when I integrated it, instead of trying to get rid of it, it was a level of change that at that point blew my mind. But it wasn't about getting rid of it. It's never about that. They are all required for each other. That was a beautiful thing you saw, Suze. They are all connected from the bottom to the top, and there is no bottom and top. Like, it is just a infinite ray of, I can't describe it. I have no idea. What I see and what I hear, oh my goodness, it's just, I keep thinking I'm going insane. I literally am just like, oh goodness sakes. Like, I'll see somebody pop in my field, like literally in my vision, and I'm just like if I'm only looking at them for their spirit value and not their physical mess, oh, so amazing. Rainbow. Yeah. Beyond what we were taught. Beyond what we were taught. Anybody else care to share? Is everybody coming back? I want to hear everybody's voice before we get off. Anybody else?
I can share mine.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed the relaxation part at the beginning. And I try to visualize how my body moves up in cosmos. Know that. And then we started with the red color. It was a very pleasant experience. Then you said, listen to the color sounds. And I just got like when you have a small fire and wood cracks under it, and it was very. But as I'm very tired, I think I actually fall asleep during meditation.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's the part where I remember. I remember later. You can open your eyes. You can. So
That's amazing.
yeah. So,
Good.
but it was nice experience.
This is like everything to me is you'll have an experience like this, and it's what happens tomorrow. What you experience right now is part of an experience. The experience itself, the evidence of the experience will show up tomorrow. That's how I gauge everything. If I get any kind of evidence from it that something is different, something has changed, that's when I'll keep chasing it down and keep doing it. Melissa says, I think I might have to do it again. I might have fallen asleep. Oh,
Shall I share as well?
Hang on just 1 second. I was floating in and
Oh,
out.
sorry. Yes, of course.
No worries. That was Melissa. No thoughts, no things. And falling asleep, you'll still get the benefit. So you're fine. But I would go back through it and I would try and see it and try and participate in it. Yeah, try and hear it. Okay, who was that before? Was that Jane?
Yeah. You said it will show up tomorrow, but it feels like it's showing up now because it feels very healing for my body. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Very welcome. That's beautiful.
Yes.
Moment to moment, right? I say tomorrow, but every moment you'll notice. That's beautiful.
Yes.
Anybody else? Angel, are you back with us?
Yeah. I was just typing. I type very slow. I was just what I needed because I'm in pain today. So outside of, even though I said I was going to be, on this call, I was really getting into it, and then my son comes in the front door. But it was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Very welcome. Yeah, and the energy, if you let the energy do its work, it will just do what it does. It's gonna change. It's gonna alter things around. You just have to be aware of it. Suzanne just said, I'm gonna test drive it right now, heading into Home Depot. Go, Suze, go. All right. Bless you. Thank you all for being here tonight or today, whatever it is for you. Let me know what you find. Let me know what you notice as you move through your week. I'll be really curious. Yeah. All right. We will see all of you hopefully next week. We'll see what's going on. I'm not too sure yet. We're supposed to be starting up with GM next week too. So we'll see what's happening. You're very welcome. Very, very welcome.
Thank you, Christy.
You're welcome, Philip. Thank you for being here.
Thank
Jane
you.
and Angel. Lance already had to jet. Shamina. All right. We'll see you all again soon.
Thank you very much. Have a
Bye
good
bye.
week.
Bye.